because I do not want critical race theory taught to my children in school does not mean that I'm a racist, damn it.
Yes, it does.
Are black people gonna ever be safe from white women tears? No.
I'm unmoved by white tears. Most of us are unmoved by white tears because we don't actually think they're real. It's a performance. It's a switch that you turn on because you know that we have been socialized to see you as more human and of more value. So whatever it is you think and whatever it is you feel, we are supposed to respond to it. Y'all don't respond to Black women crying the same way. Nobody does. Nobody does. The minute a white woman cries, the world has to stop. Oh my God, what's wrong with you, baby? Black women cry, we could be rolling around on the ground screaming. And you are moved because you've been socialized not to see us as human beings. Fuck. Our tears don't matter to you, but a white woman, and y'all know that shit. That's why I'm not here for the fragility. You know that. And so you very deliberately turn the shit on as a way to avoid accountability.
Yep.
Purposefully. That's not fragility. That's manipulation. That's strategic. That's diabolical.
Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to Trending Pulse Worldwide. So, we need to talk about something that's been happening for centuries. Something so subtle, yet so powerful, that it has ruined lives and even led to death to some. I'm talking about white women tears and how they've been weaponized to shift blame and also avoid accountability, and in many cases endanger black people, especially black men. Well, this isn't just an opinion. History proves it. From false accusations that led to lynching to modern day situations where white women cry to manipulate a situation in their favor, the pattern has been clear. I've got a couple of videos lined up where both black and white women break this down, showing how white women tears have been used as a tool of power and privilege. So let's take a look, and then I'll be back to share my full thoughts.
In this life, I am reminded of many things, but this always shocks me for some reason, and I don't even know why. Now, white women can cry, and their tears are very, very powerful. The way that they can carry victimhood on their heads, and people will literally break their backs to comfort them and make them feel protected, is something that I find fascinating. When I cry, I get told, you're mentally unstable, you're crazy, you're reading into this a bit too much, love, you're being dramatic. But let a white woman cry? Ooh, the power that holds. I would just like to know, where can I buy that from? Because I too would like to weaponize my tears and profit off of it monetarily.
So white women tears have gotten minorities murdered, lynched, thrown in prison, all on no additional evidence other than the fact that a white woman was crying. Historically, white women tears are literally deadly to minority populations. Emmett Till, Rosewood, the burning down of Black Wall Street. How did this all begin? Don't just take my word for it. Look it up on your own time. Answer: white women tears. White women are very much enablers of the system of white supremacy, and they play their role effortlessly. And so what we're seeing with everything going on right now is the tears just doing what they were designed to do. They worked again. And this time we saw them work on the best of us, the most anti-racist of us.
White women crying when they receive any sort of criticism from women of color is fucking racist. Because white women will sit there and use their tears as weapons against women of color to absolve themselves from any sort of guilt, but also to silence women of color. And this white damsel in distress narrative is not only racist, but it is also lethal. White women tears only helps uphold white supremacy.
There are certain things that you need to know. And I don't think this is spoke about enough. But the most dangerous thing in this world are the tears of a white woman. And if you truly love the black man that you are with, you need to know that You need to have his back and protect him at all costs, including protecting him from yourself. And what do I mean by that? My son was dating a white woman. My son is biracial. They got into an argument in public, and she started to scream and cry. And my son immediately left the scene. She was outraged. She couldn't believe my son left. My son left because my son knew that if he stayed there and this woman was crying and screaming at him, a black man, there was not going to be any questions asked. He was going to be thrown to the ground. He was going to go to jail. It was not going to be any questions asked because this white woman was crying and screaming about him. Now, I'm sure this female may have been hurt. Her feelings was hurt. She was a little emotional. However, when you are dating a black man and you're a white woman, you need to understand that sometimes your fucking feelings and your emotions have to take a fucking back seat to not cause harm to the person you are dating, that you love, that you are married to. And I'm not telling you that if you are truly in fucking danger, not to get help. But if you're just emotional, you're just pissed off, and you want to scream and hoop and holler, in public is not the time. Because that can turn out very deadly for the black man that you claim to love so much, whether you realize it or not. If you were just dating a white man and you were yelling, nobody would really pay any attention to that shit. But when people see a white woman and a black man and you're screaming, all hell will break loose. Because when white women cry, everybody responds. And if it's a lie, the most deadliest thing in this world are white women tears.
In case you hadn't noticed, I am a white woman. And whenever the BIPOC community mentions white fragility or white women's tears, it's uncomfortable, not gonna lie. And maybe 10-15 years ago, I would have said, but that's just as racist. However, I am really lucky that over the last 10-15 years, I have experienced other cultures and seen things from a different angle. Getting upset is a perfectly valid emotion. If I was accused of racism, I'd probably cry. Maybe because I'm fragile. The problem is, historically, white women take it a step further. They then utilise their tears so that they can play the victim. I can't talk to you right now. I'm too upset. How can you talk to me like this? So everyone feels sorry for the poor girl that's crying, who takes no accountability. The blame gets pointed back to the BIPOC community. White women's tears is a weapon.
This right here is the problem. And it's not just about a woman crying. It's about what those tears have historically led to. And we are talking about an entire community, or even communities, burnt down, innocent black men lynched, and lives destroyed. All because a white woman's word was taken as the absolute truth without even question. Now, Emmett Till was just 14 when he was murdered over a lie. The town of Rosewood was wiped off the map because of a false accusation. And you also have the Black Wall Street, one of the most successful black communities in America, was just burned to the ground because of a single claim. And these aren't isolated incidences. This is a pattern, one that still plays out today. And you find that an emotional white woman claims to be a victim, and society reacts without questioning, and this leads to devastating consequences for black people. But let's bring it to the present. How many times have we seen white women call the police on black people for simply existing, sitting in a coffee shop, walking through their own neighborhood, and even bird watching in a public park? And they know what they're doing. They know that by crying or saying, I feel threatened, they can weaponize a system that has always been on their side. And that's the real issue. These tears don't exist in a vacuum. They trigger a response from a society that has been conditioned to protect them at all costs, no matter who gets hurt in the process. But let's be clear, I'm not saying that white women can't cry or feel emotions. The problem is when those emotions are used to manipulate situations or dodge accountability. And the fact that people still react without question when a white woman cries, even when the fact says otherwise, is the real danger. So, where does this leave us? And how do we make sure that when someone cries, we don't just assume they are the victim, but actually look at the bigger picture? Let's have this conversation and drop your thoughts in the comments. And finally, do you think things are changing, or is this just as bad as ever? Let's talk about it. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more trending stories. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.